Before we start, please note I'm not a medical or mental health professional. What I share here comes from my own experience with burnout and recovery and is intended for informational purposes only. Hi everybody, Chris here on day 22 of 43. I'm going to probably be a little bit all over the place. I'm exhausted. And I'll explain why that is. I managed 100 kilometers yesterday on the bike, and I slept so well last night. And I woke up with loads of energy, fully motivated. It was a great start to the day. So day 22 was today, and we started with what turned out to be my favorite class since we came here, and it was music therapy. We all had to choose an instrument to play, and then we all sat in a circle, and the instructor would tell us the rules of certain games. Play one note and it goes to the left, in clockwise motion. Play two notes, it's reverse, a bit like Uno, if you know that card game. And so that was that, and we played variations of that. But the highlight was we played a tune, and it was amazing. So the instructor started off with 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and she played a melody, and I was second. And so then I came with at that time I was on the mono chord, and I started to play, and I managed just to create some melody as well, despite the fact that it's a monochord. And then people next to me then started, and it went round in a circle, and it was really beautiful, really, really nice. We created such a nice song, and nobody was trying to make their instrument the dominant instrument. Everyone took care of the overall pace of the song, and after each round it just got better, more refined, and I just thought, this is just great. This is great. And then we ended it, and then the instructor said, would you like me to play anything? And they started the class with a certain melody, and it reminded me of Blackbird by the Beatles. So I just asked her, can you play that? And she was worried, I might make lots of mistakes, whatever. And then she played it, and it was just so wholesome. The window was open. We could hear the wind rustling in the trees. I haven't felt that just so content and happy in a long time. It was such a beautiful moment. And so after that, it was the feedback round, and that's exactly what I said. And it was the same for most of us in the group as well. Fantastic start to the day. I was so happy, and you may be wondering why I'm a bit deflated now. I'll come to that now, because it's been pretty intense today. Unexpectedly, I thought we were just going. I thought it was going just to be a textbook day of learning and listening, but it was more interactive than I thought. What I mean by that, so we had our basis group again, and the therapist chose one of the patients to tell their story, and using the method of psychodrama. What is psychodrama? I'll put a link in the description below, but it's basically psychotherapy with theater and a bit of social. Without giving too much information, basically the status of the patient was played out in different roles, and that patient got to choose who would represent her life, be that a family member, Then it goes into the emotions that they were feeling. For example, anger, fear. And they decided who in the group would represent those emotions or family members. And at the start of the psychodrama, the therapist said, has anyone got anything against participating today? And I thought first, but second, I don't know what this is about. Psychodrama sounds a bit horror movie. One patient said, this is not for me. And I thought, should I join? But then I was too late. I didn't react on my gut instinct. And so I went along because I thought, we're in this together as a group. We approach this topic as a group to maybe help that patient come out the other side. So yeah, it played out. So I was placed as to represent fear, and therefore I took on the fear of the patient who's telling their story. And I underestimated that and how that would impact me. I almost went back to my childlike self, and I would just stare at the floor and just wanted it to be over. And it's hard to describe in words. I know, but as you can probably tell, I'm just totally exhausted, because to come from that music therapy, feeling on top of the world, and for such a thing to suck the life out of me and the energy, it was quite a roller coaster today. And so back to the psychodrama, there came a point where everyone was given a role, and there was a state of play, so to say. Then the therapist said, everyone who's playing their role, instinctively do what you think is right now. And so people change positions. Me being fear, I ran off. I ran off to the other side of the room, and everyone's looking at us like, I told the story that I didn't want that patient to feel the fear anymore, and that's why I ran out. In reality, that was me. I wasn't comfortable representing that emotion, especially for someone else, and so I decided to activate flight mode. We just got out of there. I felt a bit comfortable again, but then the questions came, why certain things happened, and I just gave that rationale, but underneath it all, that wasn't the truth. The truth is, I wanted to be the other patient who stood out of this exercise, and I underestimated that. Maybe it was a misunderstanding on the German side, but I don't think so. No, it wasn't. Luckily, I had my one-to-one therapy today, and there were a few appointments in between, but I'd like to jump now. I think it's best to jump to the one-to-one therapy. When I told the therapist right at the beginning how I felt and what happened today, she was like, why did you do that? Did you not think that was not going to be a good idea? I was just like startled, and you're really. And then she said, did you not have it? You never for a split think at the second think this was a bad idea given my history, and there was a time, and she said, that is good. That is good that you have that thought. You just need to act on it. And this is my problem with being able to say no and building my own defenses and borders. So it's clearly a problem for me. I'll try not to go on more about my individual therapy, but it just took the wind out of my sails today. You know, I turn. But anyway, the rest of the one-to-one therapy session was really good. I explained what we had done during the week. If you remember the piece of rope or the circle, I explained that, and that also helped her paint a more clearer picture of where I see how things stand. And yeah, today I feel vulnerable again. If you found your way here because burnout has left you feeling lost, disorientated, or like you're questioning everything, welcome. You're not alone, and this space was created with you in mind. On this channel, you'll find 3 powerful series and playlists. Where I Was At is my raw and personal rehabilitation vlog series that documents the real moments of recovery, reflection, and vulnerability. The Share, Inspire, and Explore podcast is where I speak with experts, survivors, and fellow seekers about burnout, resilience, and what it means to rebuild a life. And Where I'm At, a present-day insight series exploring how I'm redefining purpose and well-being one step at a time. And now I'm inviting you to join the Where I'm At community, a safe, evolving space for burned out professionals. It's a platform designed to help you recognize, reset, and reinvent through peer support, expert Q&As, live sessions, and more. It's completely free to join for now, and while not every feature is there from day one, this is a community that will grow with us. Built by a community, for a community. Click the link in the description to join. Whether you're just beginning to ask hard questions or already deep in recovery, you belong here. I'm Chris Wilson, and it's Where I'm At. Thank you. One of the in-between appointments was called Psychoeducation, where we learned about, I have it in my notes here, the vulnerability stress model. And also, I put a link in the description below. It was quite interesting. I mean, maybe nothing so much new, but there's certain factors, related to, there's a vulnerability index and a stress index, and many contributing factors, be that from biological or psychological or social aspects, which affect your vulnerability index, and then you have a stress index, and it's very individual. Often we think, well, why are they getting stressed about something? It's nothing. Well, this is exactly the point. Each of us has our own individual measurements of stress and vulnerability. And I guess I'll put a link in the description below with a graph. And there is a point where there's a line, and if you cross that line, then you're getting into sickness territory. And I guess that's where I was. I was trying to work out whether I have more vulnerability than stress, or I have more stress than vulnerability. But I'm pretty sure I know who I am. I'm not the lucky one with low levels of both. But nevertheless, we'll learn next week how we can learn to live and manage on the vulnerability side. And of course, you can manage the stress side. I would say it's more manageable on the stress side because it goes in the direction of medication on the vulnerability and psychotherapy. That was quite apt how that education piece was sandwiched in between my meetings today. But yeah, I'm not okay. I got to the halfway point and I thought, well, what can I learn for the remainder of my time here? And complacency was definitely behind that thought process. I'm sick. I'll be the first now to admit it. I'm still sick, and my key learning is, it might have played out in the workplace. It might have played out in other aspects of life. But unless I work at the foundations, this is going to continue to happen. And I've today learned I have a new diagnosis. So I have two things to work on. Although I got wind of that last week, I thought this was happening, but now they're writing a new diagnosis for me. And I'm in the right place. I'm with the professionals, and I trust in them to bring me on the right path. And I just hope, I'll get the support of family and friends when I come out here, and that they understand. I'm not the old Chris Wilson I used to be. I'm trying to recover from all that's happened, and I will just need everyone's support and understanding, not to question maybe why I want things to happen a certain way. I believe I will get that support, and I think that's it for me today. I will just put on a load of clothes to wash and have an early night. I hope I can sleep well tonight, and tomorrow's another day. Another action-packed day. Today was too much. Yeah. What I forgot to mention was we finished the day with that reflection group where the group comes together and everyone has their say on how they thought the last week has been. And I just went to that meeting direct from the one-to-one therapy. It was too much. Next time I'll just walk out. It was just too much. I stood there and I tried to focus, but I just wanted to curl up in the fetal position and just switch off. I've calmed down a lot. I went to lunch with a few of the group, and that's helped. Believe it or not, making this video has helped. I didn't want to make this video. I really didn't. Somehow I did, and I'm really happy I did. It's helped. So I hope it's helped someone out there. If I question why I'm doing this a lot of the time, just talking into just a device we call a smartphone and just talking about my feelings. Well, somehow it helps me, and I really hope if this can help one person out there, this is for me worth it. And let me know in the comments if that person is you, and just be open and don't let it eat you inside. It's never too late. That's enough for me today. This is Chris Wilson. That's where I'm at. Thank you for watching. Till next time. Bye-bye.